It's time to dish with the Paddock Prince. A lot of winners the first few weeks of the Saratoga meeting, all leading up to what so far I think is the best race card at the meet and the premier race so far, not only of the meet, but I dare say the whole year. The Whitney Stakes, grade one in every way. David, this has almost all the horses you would want to see in it for an East Coast grade one in the summer.
Yeah, you got Fierceness, you got Sierra Leone, you got White Barrio, who you never know if he's going to show up with his best race or not, but obviously he's won a classic before. Won the Whitney 2 years ago when he was with Dutro,
Yeah, which was his classic prep.
which will probably be his classic prep this year too.
Right.
Yeah, no, you got a rabbit. You don't see many rabbits in grade one dirt races, better yet in America at all. We have a rabbit for Sierra Leone, apparently, even though he's probably not going to need one if the four stays in. Mama's Gold. But yeah, there's pace. The card as a whole, though, you said one of the best. I mean, those maiden races are some of the best maiden races. I know they all come out at Saratoga, but it feels like they put them all on one day. They're so good. Pedigrees galore. The allowance race 7, might be the toughest non-allowance race, 14 horses on the dirt you'll ever see. So it's a good card from top to bottom.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity. Of course, Naira promoting the win pool opportunity with the CRW out 2 minutes to post. I'm going to let you brag now instead of at the end like we normally do. You're having a good meet, some good Del Mar numbers as well. But Saratoga, anything in particular that's sort of been a light bulb for you in terms of finding some of these higher priced winners?
No, there's been a couple, prices that horses you wouldn't really expect. Like there was a winner on Sunday, the Georgia Magic horse for IRAD that was 8-1. That horse looked 7-2 on paper. So I've caught some good prices so far. There was a first time starter on Sunday. There was a 4-year-old that went off at 9-1 that I liked that got the win. But I think the meet overall, the track has been really fair. Even the turf has been fair. I know the inner rails or inner turf was really good July 4th weekend, but since the traditional meet opened, I thought the turf and dirt, they've just been really fair for the most part. And I
Yeah,
feel like at Saratoga, that doesn't usually happen. So it's been good that the tracks have been fair. So it's been handicapping wise, it hasn't been as much of a puzzle to figure it out. But I will say there's a lot of horses coming back this weekend that were running July 4th that were against that bias. So definitely be paying attention to some of those horses.
Yeah, it seems like and I looked at the track trends tool for the inner turf when handicapping the 4-star Dave, and I mean it was pretty much very evenly distributed, no excuses depending on run style, like you said during the legitimate part of the meet.
Well, they usually run this race next weekend,
Right.
and that's usually when they move the rails and stuff.
Ah,
I don't know what they're doing this weekend since it's a week earlier. And Four
right.
Star Dave's a
Yep,
great race this year. You got Johannes coming
absolutely.
from you got Johannes coming from the West Coast. You don't get a lot of West Coast shippers in turf races. Better yet, one that is probably a top 3 American turf horse to boot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just I'm guessing wasn't maybe quite ready for the Eddie Reed, or that was longer than they wanted to
No,
go
they
anyway
wanted to
off the
come
bench.
here. They
Yeah.
wanted to
Well,
come here.
good. I mean, that's grade one races. You want to see grade one horses, but of course, Whitney, the headliner, the other grade ones are the Test and the Belmont. What do they call it? Or Saratoga Invitational Derby.
This you got it wrong. It's the Saratoga Derby Invitational. I think.
Oh,
I think. I don't know.
the SDI, but all
Yeah.
eyes certainly on the Whitney, the fourth of 4 grade one races. Here's the field with my fair odds. As you alluded to, maybe a few of these coming out besides Mind Frame, which I did line this as David Aragona did. Props to him for the morning line work. Mind Frame 5-2, which would be projected if Fierceness were to come out, but we're basically assuming Mind Frame won't be participating. I do think that the two the two big favorites are the most likely winners from a value play. I'm actually a little excited about Post Time, maybe, because I figure he'll get a similar trip as Sierra Leone with the rabbits that you mentioned. Mama's Gold, not a Chad Brown trainee, but certainly figures to be part of the early pace. And then contrary thinking is going to prompt things down the backside, I would assume. But what do you think?
What's interesting about the rabbit? We don't see him very often in America, as I said, but I looked at time form pace projected. This horse is not even close to being
Yeah.
fast enough to be near the lead. So I think, like you said, he's probably going to be more of a rabbit down the backside because, I mean, there's like 5 horses that are faster than him. Also, so Irad mentioned in the DRF article that they're going, not saying they're going to the lead, but they want to be on near the pace. They don't
Sure.
want to lag too far behind. And
Okay.
there's a rumor that Skippy's coming out. If Skippy comes out, he's got a little bit of pace. If he stays in the race, he can be forward. So I think Sierra Leone's going to have no excuses because everybody seems to make an excuse for this horse that he's going to finally get some pace to run at. But I'm not the biggest Sierra Leone fan, to be
Nah,
honest. I mean,
too short for me here
I'm,
against
I'm getting,
Fierceness and others.
yeah, I'm getting
So,
tired of his act. A little cameo. We never have visitors on this show. This is the first visitor we've ever had.
I guess I was being loud. EJ brought me headphones, but that's not gonna help just keep him from being disturbed.
No, I just think Fierceness is a likely winner. His last wasn't great, but if you listen to Johnny V, he did an interview about Fierceness saying that he's finally learned that you just can't shove him out of the gate. You just got to kind of let him
Plus,
roll into his rhythm, like
the
he did in the Ali
shoot,
Sheba.
sloppy track.
Yeah, that's stupid. By the way, the Wilson shoot. Not to go on a tangent, I saw they wrote 30 races in the new book for the Wilson shoot.
Yeah, how'd they go from 0 to 30? What's
I have no idea. I have no idea. That's another story. That made me think of it. But I like Fierceness. If Disarm runs, I think he's a wild price horse that gets one of the biggest rider upgrades in human history. With Rosario, ran well at Saratoga. I thought he can maybe hit the board at a price. He's a closer, but he's going to be 20, 25 to 1 maybe to get in there at a big price.
Yeah, well, that was, I mean, you mentioned the closer, and that was, post time. I kind of feel like going to have a similar style to Sierra Leone. And if you think, oh, Mama's Gold and contrary thinking, going to help Sierra Leone, then why not post time? Although Disarm obviously going to be a much bigger price, and I don't share the affinity for him that you do. But
I mean, I love the
rider,
horse.
the
But if you
rider
think
change is definitely worth pointing out for sure.
his good races were at Saratoga too. So I'm just saying, if you want a horse outside of the obvious couple, I thought maybe he could be a horse that could round out a try or something. Because this pace is, I guess Mama's Gold. Mama's Gold is a very random horse to be running in this race. He's a New York bred. I don't know. He's fast too, so there's going to be no pace issues.
Yeah.
Do you think they
No.
will float Fierceness into the first turn wide on purpose?
Yes. And that, I mean, maybe that, we talk about contrary thinking a rabbit, but I saw what you saw in the pace projector, and the pace ratings say the same thing on Bristnet. Like, this horse, like, maybe he can make the lead for a 16th of a mile if they quarter horse him, but that'd be it. So to me, the more likely thing is, why not ride mid pack, keep Fierceness wide, and then push the pace down the backside? And that to me would be how I'd set it up for Sierra Leone.
Well, the other thing is too, if you were handicapping the rabbit in this race, he was on a good rail last time, and that's the only time he's ever even been near the pace. So he got everything his own way. So I agree with you. I don't see how he's not doing anything except pushing the pace on the backside maybe and float him out a little bit. But
yeah. And what about Highland Falls? Ron Flatter gave a little nod to him on the podcast I did with him. I just think he's too slow.
I think he's too slow. Another horse that wouldn't surprise me if he got a good trip and hit the board, but he won the Jockey Gold Cup last year, but a little tougher field in the Whitney with
this is way tougher.
2 of the 4 best older horses in the 3 out of 5 best older horses in the country. Mindframes, obviously. I really wish Mindframe would run in this race. It would. I almost think Mindframe would be a lock in here if he ran, because you don't have to worry about his trip, and
he get first run on the closers, and
he's not a horse like Fierceness and Sierra Leone who kind of need things to go their way in their own way. Right. He can create his own trip, but obviously he's not going to run. So,
well, the big topic, I think, after topic going in, but after as well, depending on who wins and how they look. But good 3-year-old contingent this year. Older males are strong too. Who are you leaning toward division-wise in terms of a Breeders' Cup Classic edge?
I'm still probably on the Fierceness train. Older horses with Mindframe, but there's a lot of time left, and I would not give up on journalism yet. I would not give up on that horse. I think the thing with journalism is too, I hope he stays at the Pacific Classic and he runs a good race and we can see what he does against older horses and he gets time instead of shipping back and forth. I think Sovereignty will win the Travers unless Magnitude wires it. So he's going to come into I don't think he'll prep. Would he prep if he wins the Travers? Maybe in what's the race at the
No
Woodward?
way.
Is it yeah, it's the Wood. You only really can do the Woodward or nothing. So
Yeah. Well, the Lucas Classic, Churchill.
Yeah, that's true
But
too.
he wouldn't.
Yeah, he
No
won't
way.
prep probably. So yeah, I mean, if Sovereignty wins the Travers, he's probably going to be the first or second choice in the Classic,
I would think.
especially if
Yeah.
Fierceness flops for some reason this weekend. I don't think he's gonna, but I'm a little on the older horses, but I understand people's thinking on but I just think Fierceness's race last year was so good. If he can be the same horse and not get caught up in a absolute meltdown. I guess you got Forever Young coming again as well.
Forever Young, probably
Who ran good.
Aiden O'Brien turf horse that's the best he's ever trained.
It's never taken kickback before. I mean, it's kind of a coin flip. I would lean Olders, maybe Mind Frame as well.
Older you get more.
Nice
More contenders.
Nice.
Yeah, I bet after seeing the numbers that came back from the San Diego, maybe Dirt Mile is more his.
Yeah, I know, and I hope they don't run Mind Frame in the Dirt Mile either. Like, I hope he runs. Yeah, I hope he runs well going 10 furlongs because he's never been 10 furlongs. Oh no, he has been 10 furlongs. He ran in the Belmont. So yeah, he showed that was only his third start too. So I hope he runs well. So they run him in the Classic because I mean, if he wins that race, that's 3 Grade 1s and a Grade 2. He would be going for Horse of the Year in the Classic if he won with Sovereignty. Obviously, if he wins the Travers, because it would be between one of them two probably. I guess Fierceness if he won this weekend as well. But yeah, it's a good year this year for the Classic. It might be one of the best Classics in a long time.
Shaping up pretty solid, yeah. But first things first, the Whitney. I mean. Fierceness, I do think is the most likely, but price-wise, I am excited to give Post Time a shot to crash the party.
Was he supposed to run in this race? I didn't know he was running.
And it's one of those, like, really, in terms of options, there aren't a ton.
No, you'd have to run in the 7 furlong race coming up. That Travers
or in the West Virginia Governors.
Oh, where the Dubai World Cup winner is running. I forgot. We run the Dubai World Cup winners at Mountaineer now. We don't run in the Whitney. We go to Mountaineer.
To defend his title.
I saw, by the way, I laughed at your tweet about the 2 turns at Mountaineer. That was that was the most random tweet I read all morning, whenever that was.
Basically the only 9 times they run 9 furlongs is for the West Virginia Derby.
I can sleep tonight knowing that now. That's how I felt when I read that.
Which I will say, I think if East Avenue takes another step forward, he's finally going in the right direction.
Can he please run in a real race?
No, that's the other.
I guess so. I guess he would go to the
Pennsylvania Derby, right?
Yeah, I hope Gosker goes to the Travers, and then he would go to the Penn Derby. You have to think. There's one thing about Sovereignty, and I saw someone make this point, and I kind of agree with it. Sovereignty's never had to run down a real speed horse. So it's going to be interesting to see if a horse like Magnitude or something gets loose in the Travers. I'm not saying they're good enough, but the horses he's been out-kicking Journalism Baeza, he's been out-kicking the horses he needs to beat. It'll be interesting to see if he has to run down a horse like Magnitude, if Magnitude kicks for home with a three-length lead. I mean, because you got to think about it. In the Belmont, Crudo was the pace setter. Right. A couple other horses that didn't really have a chance. And then in the Dandy, it was a Moplex, so nothing against those horses, but they're not Grade 1. Just something to think about.
No, I think that's a fair. I mean, and then in a mile and a quarter, it's stretching out. I mean, if Magnitude's up by 10, turning from home.
I will say, though, last thing I will say, he is much more tractable now. He's been a lot closer to the pace in these last couple races.
And able to go wide and sustain a move.
I don't know if the pace is going to bother him, really. It's the way he's turned into a horse that can be forward, so.
Yeah, I mean, if Magnitude pulls an Arrogate, though, I mean, you're just not going to catch a horse like that.
Best 5 race streak I've ever seen in my life. Was it 5?
Not to say he's even Arrogate, or B, he would run a track record. but just that style of race can be problematic from a horse.
But he
who
is
has
the
to
wild
chase, that's
card.
all.
I see what he is the
Absolutely.
wild card because you don't really know. You just see these big races, you don't know now he's going to get really tested. So
And
it'll
that's
be
the other thing. East Avenue is good often as well. So, I mean, the West Virginia Derby win would certainly earn him a Travers ticket, and they might feel like
that's quick
talking up
turnaround though.
magnitude. Didn't used to be.
No, it did
10 years
not.
ago, Farrow ran in the Haskell on this weekend and then the Travers.
And he also trained in between in front of 50,000 people. If you haven't heard that story 75 times yet, Saratoga, they called it. If you haven't heard that story,
I don't remember it being called Saratoga, but it makes sense that it would. Were you working there that year?
Saratoga?
Didn't you like walk Classic Empire for Norm?
Oh, that was at Churchill. Norman didn't
Oh,
take
sure.
me on. Norman didn't take me on the road.
Got it.
By the way, I think Bafford's sending a few to the Travers also, so that'll be good.
A few?
Yeah, he's sending Nevada Beach or the horse Nevada Beach and
No.
goal oriented. So we'll talk
What
about that.
happened to
in a few
Getaway
weeks.
Car?
Oh yeah, I don't think he's coming.
No, he's not making the trip. All right.
No.
Well, what do we got? Del Mar and Saratoga all week?
Yeah, and I did Ellis Park on Saturday as a good card.
Oh, yeah.
They have Kentucky. They have the Nashville Derby preview, riveting. They have the bunch of preview races.
Yeah.
But we had to get a prep.
I picked the Japanese horse in the mile race.
What?
Theodora's horse in the 10th.
Oh, are you talking about the horse that runs on dirt mainly? I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
Didn't that? Yeah, I know exactly what horse you're talking about. Is he? Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. I don't remember, but it's a good card. I mean, the maiden races are good too.
Yeah,
a lot of maiden races this week.
People are timing it to get the stakes race and then Breeders' Cup.
About that time.
They're good enough. Yeah.
It's about that time.
All right, Paddock Prince. More winners this week, right?
I hope so. We got to keep it
down.
I got a month left.
And then what?
Bach.
Oh, a month left to set it right.
Yeah.
What about Kentucky Downs?
Oh, yeah. Kentucky Downs, Churchill, Bach.
Sweet. Low Sal?
Nah, that's where I draw the line. But if you turn on Del Mar today on a Thursday or Friday, you're going to think it's Low Sal if you don't see the name of the track.
Well, Thursday you might think it's the Fairs. Friday, Low Sal. And then Saturday is Del Mar.
Is it just me or is like this Del Mar this meet has been like, you'll look at race. I mean, they got it's just been a little rough on, but the Saturday cards are good, I guess.
Saturday's been good, but yeah. Well, I mean, that they said when No Cow went away that they'd write races for those horses. So,
and I get it. You get big fields, better betting races.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not our father's summer racing.
The Golden Del Mar,
home of the Breeders' Cup.
2 years in a row.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's the Paddock Prince. I'm at DeRosa. Best of luck this week.
Good luck, everybody.